blueandgold.com recruiting insider Mike Singer, joined by our senior editor Lou Somogyi. And our topic of today is discussing the linebacker situation for the Fighting Irish. In the 2018 and 2019 classes, Notre Dame signed a total of 8 linebackers. And then in that 2020 class, you have 0 linebackers signed. And now in this 2021 class, we are expecting Notre Dame to take 1 to maybe 2 linebackers. But right now, there's not really a long list of targets they're after. There's a few guys that the staff's working on, not a super long list right now, Lou. How comfortable do you feel with the linebacker depth on Notre Dame's roster right now?
Well, it was going to depend a lot on how they were going to progress this spring. Oh, wait, spring was canceled. So that was a setback because you had 4 linebackers last year who were redshirted. J.D. Bertrand, who would be playing more so the Mike linebacker, Miroslav Laiufa, who's probably going to cross-train at both rover and the buck linebacker position. Osita Ekwonu likely will line up at the buck position too. And then Jack Kaiser, who's worked at rover last year, and both he and Laiufa worked on special teams, were able to play the full 4 games without losing a year of eligibility. But the coaching staff really was very high on the progress of both, which is why they did play early on special teams. And in Laiufa's case, against the top opposition, Georgia, USC, Michigan specifically, in the same way they saved Isaiah Foskey, the defensive end, for the Stanford game right at the end, and he made a game-changing play there with a blocked punt. So I think there's a comfort level there with the 4 that they have, and then the 4 that they recruited in the previous class as well. And that's not even including the veterans that you have right now. Drew White has 2 more years of eligibility. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah has 2 more years of eligibility. Now, I would be surprised if Jeremiah returned for a 5th season, because I think he's going to really impress a lot of NFL scouts. His first season of starting this past season, he and White led the team with 80 tackles apiece. And another forgotten guy, because he's an older guy, is Jordan Genmark Heath, who began the spring that lone practice on March 5th. He was at the buck linebacker position. He has 66 career tackles. So there's plenty of options there. Bo Bauer, behind Drew White at Mike linebacker, special teams player of the year. Another guy that I think there would be a comfort level there that if something happened to Drew, Bo would be able to step in almost seamlessly.
Now, Lou, you mentioned Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and I mean, you see tweets from Todd McShay talking about, man, I was just watching Notre Dame film, looking at various players, and man, number 6 just keeps popping off the screen. I mean, you would have to say he was kind of a breakout player, maybe even an MVP candidate of the defense. How good was he last year, and what are you expecting from him this season?
I've said many times, when God created the rover position, he had somebody such as Jeremiah in mind for it. Just the flexibility that he provides, the way he can hold the edge, the way he's able to run with wideouts in pass coverage, attack the quarterback, the closing speed, the length, the range. They didn't have to take him off the field on 3rd down either. He served as kind of the big nickel back, so that lends so much to the defense in itself as well. So, yeah, I know that maybe the most appealing pro candidate down the line is Kyle Hamilton at safety for many, but I thought Jeremiah last year really made quite a name for himself, and if he can put together even a better season this year, he's going to go very, very high next year.